The first feature of the psychology of a critic is that the critic can be in the middle of emotionally, intellectually, physically responding to a work of art. And in the middle of that response, she can rate the work of art, discriminate between it and everything else it might be compared with, without that detracting, without that distracting her from her experience of the work of art. So I might be listening to Edwin Fischer's recording of Beethoven's Sonata Opus 110, and I might say, as I hear him walk through the Arioso Dolente in the final movement, that's the best reading of the Arioso Dolente ever. And that realization that this is where Fischer's reading sits, and that's where the second best reading by Alfred Brendel in 2007 sits, all of these comparisons are not going to take me away from the aesthetic experience. They aren't going to undermine it for me. And I think for a lot of people who don't have the psychology of a critic, that kind of thought would be distracting. I mean, it might be like a spike stuck into the wheel of their bicycle. The second very related feature of the psychology of a critic is that far from distracting you when you're in the middle of an aesthetic experience, rating, comparison, discrimination actually will enhance your aesthetic experience. But even that's false, because what it really will do is completely entwine itself with your aesthetic experience. So when I'm hearing Edwin Fischer play the Arioso Dolente of Opus 110, as I'm listening to it, what's opening up to me is a vision of his reading as the best reading in history. So it's not just that, as per point one, you ain't distracted and taken away from it. It's rather, as per this point number two, that there is no distinction for you anymore at all between the most intense emotional, intellectual, physical relationship with the work of art and rating it, discriminating between it and everything else you might compare it to.